Welcome to the NewsX Sunday Guardian Roundtable. This week, we're taking a look at the very serious allegations against the Ram Janmabhoomi Temple. The allegations that donations are being embezzled, donations in precious metals, donations in cash, donations amounting to crores. A SIT has been set up. People from the temple staff who are there in charge of counting the money have been caught on camera embezzling it. A raid in someone's house by the SIT found as much as 10 lakhs stashed away. The temple's General Secretary Champat Rai has resigned following this, pending an investigation. What is also interesting is that this is really the biggest, I would say, scandal to hit the Uttar Pradesh government in the last decade. What is the opposition making of it? There have also been, the opposition has seized the chance. They are making it a big issue. They are also, from the Congress and the Samajwadi Party, especially, are saying that the trust was in charge of the government. It's a trust was looked after by a board appointed by the government, which has even political figures on it. So, is the government going to be responsible? Will this scandal become a big issue in the coming UP elections? That is something we're going to be discussing with my panel today. I have with me Yashwant Deshmukh. He's the founder and the chief apologist of Sea Voter. I have Shantanu Gupta. He's an author of a book on Yogi Adityanath and a political analyst. And Sharad Pradhan, also an author of a book on Yogi Adityanath and a columnist and a political analyst. But Yashwanji, I want you to tell us first, because the C voter has been, as usual, first off the mark. You've already done a poll, taking a look at the questions that I've raised, that will this impact the UP elections? And as many as 86% people of those surveyed say yes, it will have a negative impact. But I would like you to tell us exactly what the poll is and when you did it, and what all it says.
Well, Priya, we do trackers all year round, you know that, and those trackers confirm also take into note of all the recent happenings. And this particular snap poll was done right after the allegations came into light. And this, I must make it clear, this was before the FIRs were happened and SIT happened. So we are running the second round of that to see the impact of how it is moving, and we'll keep on doing so because you know survey results. You will always put it on. It's already in the media. More than 86% saying they are serious or very serious, and other things which are in the line. But the way you look at Ayodhya and the way I look at the data, something tells me that it is beyond politics now. Because Ayodhya has been political, always political. And on your show also, we have discussed so many snap polls where you be remembering that the results have been kind of politically partisan in a way, that the NDA supporters were saying X and opposition supporters were saying Y. They were all at loggerheads in most of the issues. The issues got politicized and everything. Now, this particular incident the data is telling me something which is very, very classical thing happening. And maybe Sharadji would be more appropriate to analyze in that context. And Shantanu would obviously give his perspective on the political side of it. Ayodhya is political, Priya, right? No doubt about that. It has been political right from the starting. So when the data was being run, I was expecting a completely, even more hyper-partisan results when I was asking things about Ayodhya, which have been in the case in the last 12 years. Every issue, barring the issues of national security, on the issues of Pakistan, the issues were throwing very, very extremely partisan results on NDA and the opposition supporters. I was expecting the results on the same line. But what surprised me was extremely non-partisan reaction to the issue of Ayodhya currently. When I say non-partisan, which means people are angry and upset. No doubt, people are hurt, overwhelmingly hurt. And opposition voters are equally hurt as an NDA voters are, which means Ayodhya has now moved beyond the political circus and moved into realm of faith in that way, where even the opposition voters are emotionally connected to it. Obviously, BJP voters are emotionally connected to it, So that tells me something. If I look into the social structure analysis of it and the political structure analysis, there will be two different ball games now. Social structure of analysis of it tells me, first of all, Ayodhya has moved beyond politics. It has moved beyond BJP. Number one, it has moved beyond Congress or any damn opposition. It has captured the heart. After a struggle of 500 years, the Hindus got something. And when
Correct.
something of this level happened, they always almost feel like shattered that, not done. It is not done. So,
And
as
these
simple
are
as
people on all age groups, or is there a
it's all
particular age
age
group?
groups. It's
All age groups.
across all
Okay.
political. I
Yeah.
mean, forget about age groups, gender, age groups, income, education, and the best part is that across all political line. That's the
All
best
right.
part.
Okay.
Now the political side of it, which I'm sure that will be very very heatedly debated on. I will reserve my comment because, of course, people will look into the politics because there was political that okay, it propelled BJP to the kind of political height that BJP would have taken another 50 years or so if Ayodhya would not have been there, in that way. But having
Correct.
said that, I am still not finding the signals as such, whether it has gone to an extent where any other Hindutva proponent is speeding up to gain that spot, that to appropriate that politics right now. I don't see it
Ah.
happening at this point of time.
Okay.
Merely
Let me.
pointing finger at BJP is not going to default move that Ayodhya or Hindu sentiment. Yes, the
Okay. Fine. Let me just get Shantanu also into this session. I'll
case
come
is now
back.
right in that way.
Hmm.
That if somebody wishes to, that I can argue that yes, if somebody wishes to, they can play hyper Hindutva. But at this
Okay.
point of time, I am still doubtful of that.
No, okay, so that's a question we can take in the second half. But the first half, Shantanu, the trust was managed by the BJP. The politicians are also on the trust. Champat Rai has been replaced by RSS leader as interim general secretary. So, having said that, does the buck stop with the BJP and the RSS?
I think first of all, we have realized that Ram Mandir has been not only a political issue, it's a civilizational issue for BJP. They are the first one to align with it in 1989 Palampur Adhiveshan, though the movement started in 1983, 1984. And I think it's wrong to say they have gained politically from it. Because the two major instances, the Babari Dhacha demolition, after that the election happened and the Kalyan Singh lost his CM-ship. And in 2024, when the Mandir inauguration happened, BJP got its worst number of seats in UP in the last three elections. So, did they politically gain for it? I don't have any empirical evidence. Maybe someone can correct me from the Ram Mandir movement per se. So that
Anecdotally.
and even then, they never left the Ram Mandir issue from their national manifesto and from the UP manifesto uh, till now, because now the temple is done, right? Saying that the trust, the BJP people in trust, I don't know which BJP functionary was part of the trust. And once, yeah, they have lended, yeah, they have lended Atal Bihari Vajpayee from RSS to BJP. That way they lended Narendra Modi from RSS to BJP. In that respect, yes, yeah, they lended. They lended someone like Champat Rai, someone like Anil Mishra, who were earlier VHP, RSS, or allied organizational functionary, and they lended it to. But once they're Ram Mandir Trust functionary, they're Ram Mandir Trust functionary, right? There are 6 saints into it. There are 4 ex officio members into it. And there is a very senior lawyer, Parasaranji, who is a 95-year-old lawyer. He was also into it, right? So
But the
saying
antecedents were BJP, RSS, VHP. You did not take anybody from the left, or they did not take anybody from the Congress, or anybody with.
I'm sure.
So
I
that's
doubt.
the bigger message that has gone across. Shantanu.
Yeah, but I doubt someone for him, Ram was imaginary. For someone who never wanted Ram temple to happen, for someone who have put Kapil Sibal from the Muslim side to fought the case, there is no locus standi to take them into the case, right? So it'll be very
Okay,
preposterous to bring
okay.
someone from there. So saying that, and I think to Yashwantji's survey, I think good he pointed out that survey happened before SIT, before FIR, before the arrest, before the resignations. So I'm sure the mood will be very different once it's done now, because see, I'm saying people are hurt for sure. Everybody will be hurt, right? But again, they have seen this is the government जहाँ पे हमने सुना है माफिया मिट्टी में मिल जाएंगे, not the government जहाँ लड़के हैं गलती हो जाती है, right? because they have seen in 9.5 years how Yogi government have operated with the friends of Samajwadi Party like Atiq Ahmed and Mukhtar Ansari or Chanda Chor. Yogi Adityanath's governance is being a solid pillar, which is also helping in keeping the faith alive. That okay, and their faith was with Ram, not with the Vyavastha. Anyways, their astha is with the Ram Mandir or the Ram Lala, Ram deity, not with the Vyavastha. So they say, okay, Vyavastha mein there is a problem, and someone like Yogi Adityanath, his police, his administration, and he formed a very senior SIT, right? A 2004 batch IS officer, a 2008 batch IPS officer who has been to CBI and Interpol both. And the way SIT is working, I doubt people have largely, apart from the people will create some ruckus and some narrative. And yesterday, when we have seen Govindev Giriji have shown every article which was from the 3,000 article, people have come up with four or five articles and they have shown it, right? We are in a magic world where we want कि सुबह एक doubt आए शाम तक clarification आए. That may not happen, right? So I doubt. I strongly feel that by the time Yashwantji do the second survey, things will be very different.
Okay, we will get Yashwantji back for that. But Sharad, two things.
Yeah.
One is, of course, Yogi's governance. Can it withstand this scandal? Because, Shantanu has made valid points in the governance track record of the current chief minister. And the second point, of course, is that can the BJP walk away? They're saying that the Ram Mandir alag hai, trust alag hai. It's synonymous is the way, the opposition says it is.
BJP is too good at diverting issues, taking your mind away from there, coming up with ridiculous ideas so that people get confused and get engaged in that, which is what they've been doing over the past. But their whole idea is to shield the real culprits. Now, first of all, let me point out that SITs are invariably formed. I've been in journalism here for 48 years, and I have not seen any SIT coming out reaching any logical conclusion. Most SITs are made only to get tailor-made reports because it's very convenient for the government of the day, whichever government might be, to mold the report of the SIT the way they want it, which is why SITs are formed invariably. And in this case, one had never expected that the matter would begin and end with an SIT. Tell me which other case could have been politically, socially, matters of faith more important than the Ram Mandir issue. And the way you treat, the shabby manner in which you deal with this reflects your mindset. That also reflects the kind of astha which Shantanu was talking about for Ram. This shows that you are trying to find a way out, to wriggle out of this whole thing, and which has been done very skillfully. And hats off to BJP, RSS, they are all one there. You call them with different names, they are all one, according to me. And what they have done, from day one, the whole focus of the government, both in Delhi and in Lucknow, was how to save apne log. And which is what the center eventually the center prevailed, because left to Yogi Adityanath, probably Champat Rai would not have got away in this manner. But Delhi was keen, Nagpur was keen on ensuring complete safe passage for Champat Rai, who cannot absolve himself, nor should others should try to absolve him of the crimes that have taken place in Ayodhya. These are the worst crimes that could have taken place in the name of Ram. But Champat Rai was given a clean sheet even while the inquiry was still on. And on none other than Nripendra Mishra, who's a man who's been closest to the Prime Minister, who's held the most powerful position, bureaucratic position in the country. He's a 67 batch IS officer. I always rated him because he's a UP cadre chap. We have been seeing him. The controversies apart, that he was the principal secretary to Mulayam Singh Yadav when firing was ordered and all that. When any bureaucrat would follow the instructions of the political master of the day. But the manner in which he began by washing his hands off, saying that, look here, I have nothing to do with the trust, though he was a member of the trust. I am only heading the construction committee. That was a very smart way of washing his hands off. But within the next 36 hours, obviously after getting instructions from somewhere, he issued a clean sheet for Champat Rai. Ab initio, uncalled for. I can vouch for Champat Rai and nobody else. Now, from day one, which is what the RSS narrative was, because RSS was going, moving heaven and earth to see that Champat Rai does not get exposed in this whole scam. And they tried, they did, but they're too smart. The entire RSS, the only focus was not to get a blemish on this man. If you are trying to protect a man who is neck deep into it, you may succeed for some time, but you can't fool all people at all times.
Okay.
And
Yes.
and the way Champat Rai went about, the guy who was running the show day in and out, the guy who was responsible for appointing people there, the guy who was also responsible for telling CBI who to send here for the counting, he's let off on the simple plea that he's resigned. And Mr. Parasaran, for whom I have tremendous regard as a jurist, he's 92 years old and he's been Attorney General of India in 2 governments. He's the one, because he was quoted. He had joined online. He didn't come to Ayodhya, I can imagine, because of his age. And this person who held the press conference, he said, Mr. Parasaran said that the constitution of the trust, which none of us have seen, it doesn't merit a formal acceptance or refusal of the resignation. Ab initio, it is the fact that it has been submitted, it's done. This is how it was explained. So the entire game was to see that Champat Rai goes out unblemished, which they managed.
Okay.
So far. So
So
unless
far.
something happens, so far. So because you are trying to limit this whole case to those the small fish, those 8-9 guys, who only a fool, only somebody with a closed mind, with eyes closed, with ears closed, with mind completely shut, will believe that this whole dakati, I don't call it chori, it was a loot, was limited to those 8 people. Put them behind bars, let them get hanged for some time. They must have been promised, don't worry. This is how the police functions here.
Okay, I'm going to take a
break.
End of the story. Come back.
End of the story.
End of story. I'll take a break and come back. And actually, the question that Sharad has raised is something I'm going to ask Yashwant. If these are the questions he's going to be answering in his next poll, so stay with us. Hello and welcome back to the Roundtable. We are taking a look at the political impact of the allegations of theft and donation chori that have taken place at the Mandir Chanda Chori temple in Ayodhya. So Yashwant, your next poll, will the question that Sharad has raised. Has Champat Rai got away with it? Because the investigation is still going on, but Sharad is pointing to a roadmap which will probably lead to his exoneration, as he says. Will that be one of the questions? What are the kind of questions your next poll is looking at?
Well, they are pulling in you are all invited. I mean, you know that I always tell all my reader and journalist friends, keep on pumping in the questions because it's an open institutional thing at our end, We like to run trackers and regular intervals, and we invite everybody to drop in the questions because they are in public domain. We field the question, and the best part is that we field in the public domain for everybody to analyze and see how it is going. So all of you, please, ping me the questions. Whatever is coming to your mind, we will be happy to field. One thing which is interesting in the data to observe when we are talking about the politics of it, well, Shantanu is right that there might be change after the SIT and the FIRs. We will have to keep a keen eye, and actually we will have to keep this continuously tracking now till the UP elections are over, because still the politics will be played. We know for sure it will be played, and the core opposition in the UP bench is basically Samajwadi Party. So obviously, what Shantanu aimed at, that the parties which had the track record of firing at the car sevaks, all of a sudden they cannot stand up and say we are Ram Bhakts, and those kind of politics they will be. Obviously, these are the routine things will be played out. But as I mentioned earlier, this has gone beyond politics and beyond parties now. that actually opens up, very classical case of I won't say political opportunity or opportunism, but a potential, I would say. The way I look at the Indian opposition, I still, and Sharadji, you might like to correct me. First of all, I genuinely believe that 14 has proved that minority politics in India has ended for good in that way, minoritism in that way. And this is not my point. Actually, Asaduddin Owaisi said that in one of the conclave he was talking to me, and he said that, one thing that I am thankful to BJP is once and for all, BJP has now shattered that myth that, you need Muslim votes to win an election. And that part is over. But I am still in the last 15 years finding the opposition benches to be still struck psychologically in that minority voting philosophy or strategy, whatever you want to say, for a school of thought, you may say. BJP was Hindutva school of thought, and then there was a secular school of thought, which was equally communal as BJP, actually, because it was communal for the Muslim votes. BJP was as communal as for the. So I don't, either both of them secular or both of them are communal. So I see them with the both things. What I fail to understand, that are there political opposition voices or political opposition benches which are understanding that, okay, here is the truth that you cannot annoy the majority of the country and wish you can win an election where first past the post system puts you in the majority race. That is against the basic 5th grade arithmetic. It's forget about psychology, forget about politics. It's against the basic probabilities of 5th grade arithmetic. You cannot.
So that is the debate, yes. But I think
so you cannot be seen as anti-Hindu and try to win an election in India anymore. It just cannot. You can still win election being pro-Muslim, and I have said this point many times. I hope everybody agrees. So many opposition parties in the states have won with a pro-Muslim stand. It's not a problem. Now the question is, can they, pump up the volume, put the, hit the gas a bit more, and be a bit more Hindu than they are? Can they do it?
Okay. Let me just, we are out of time, so I want to give everybody.
I'm going to cut that's where I short
because. Okay. Shantanu, your take on this, will this, you said wait for the survey after the SIT. You think the message will go that the government has acted correctly, and this is more a crime rather than a thing of faith, but a crime of few individuals and not an organized loot?
I think I already said that, the point you rephrased. So on Yashwant Bhai's point that the grammar of politics have drastically changed post 2014. In fact, the A.K. Antony committee that Congress has put, that came out with a finding that the Congress has to remove their blatant anti-Hindu image, right? And then started the temple run and the Janeudhari and the whole fancy dress of the Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi, right? We have seen that. And in fact, I'm seeing by this issue and Akhilesh Yadav being on the front line of raising this issue, from last 20 days, he has not chanted the PDA slogan, right? So he is now coming to the BJP's pitch of Hindutva, and he's trying to say, I am the bigger Hindu. He's saying, I am making a Keshav Dham temple, right? But again, in the same process, BJP and the likes are putting every video possible of Mulayam Singh Yadav to Ram Gopal Yadav, where Ram Gopal Yadav is saying that जो गुम्मत पे चढ़ तो पाए हमने उतरने नहीं दिया, हमको उसका गुमान है. Mulayam Singh is saying कि अगर आप हिंदू मुसलमान को लड़ाओगे तो हम रामकृष्ण को लड़ा देंगे. Ram Gopal Yadav is saying that Ram was a illegal occupant in the temple. Akhilesh Yadav is saying मैं तो पूजा करता ही नहीं हूँ, मैं तो नास्तिक हूँ. So all of these videos are surfaced now, right? So if you are playing on the Hindu pitch, people will say, okay, if Hindu pitch is the poll plank, then I'll vote for the original. I'll not go with the duplicates and who have such kind of past. So in fact, this is a very dangerous track for Akhilesh Yadav when he's leaving his Jati card, he's leaving his PDMY card and playing on the Hindutva pitch, where his opponent is no one but Yogi Adityanath, let alone BJP. His opponent is Yogi Adityanath, right? So between a Hindutva icon of Yogi Adityanath and a new Hindu, all of a sudden, Akhilesh Yadav, if Hinduness is the plan, I think it's very obvious what people will choose.
Good points, Sharad, for you to answer.
The problem with the Priya, the problem with the BJP and RSS mindset is, if for them, their definition of Hindu is that they must hate Muslim. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, no.
So unless you hate Muslims, you are not a Hindu. That is the definition that RSS and BJP has cast on the minds of people, and they've done it very successfully. Now, the problem is, and the second thing is, they consider Hindu religion copyright of only those guys who are totally devoted to RSS and BJP. No matter what they indulge in or loot, dacoity, whatever they might do, but they must first of all hate Muslims, and they must be completely sold to BJP and RSS. That is what Yashwant was pointing out. But I agree on a lot of issues with what Yashwant said. But let me say one: the difference between the approach of the Congress and the secular, I say not Congress, the secular minded parties and the BJP is that BJP's whole outlook is based on hatred of Muslims. That is the difference. They've been accused of appeasing Muslims. I think Muslims' lot has been in a bad state, whether it was Congress or any other party. They were always treated for with a purpose, and they were used politically, whether it is Congress or Samajwadi Party or BJP uses it another way by breeding hatred against them. So that's a sharp difference in any democratic setup where your whole idea is based on hatred, and the secular minded people don't talk of hatred. That is, they might be accused of appeasement. You cannot substantiate that, except for that foolish decision that the Rahul Gandhi government, the Rajiv Gandhi government had taken on the Shahban issue, which is the only, which they realized later was absolutely foolish and stupid on their part, politically naive on their part to have done that. And BJP continues to play that card, and they've succeeded in, imposing this kind of hatred against Muslims, which is their basis of their whole. Now, even today, when they are, and even Shantanu was pointing that out, that when people like Akhilesh who have condemned Ram, I don't know when did he condemn Ram, but if Akhilesh tries to play on the pitch of the BJP, it will be again a naive step. Right. They should play there, because that is the most foolish thing. Then there I would have to agree with Shantanu that, then you will prefer to vote for the original, which also has that huge element of hatred against Muslims. So this is going to be the question that needs to be asked to the BJP and RSS, who keep on reminding you of Mulayam Singh having ordered firing on the Sevaks in 1990. They need to be asked, and some people have raised this issue of Nripen Mishra being principal secretary to Mulayam Singh Yadav when the firing was ordered. So, I don't blame Nripen Mishra for that. There are better things for which Nripen Mishra needs to be blamed, on integrity particularly. Now, but what BJP needs to be asked is, why the hell this government choose to honor Mr. Mulayam Singh Yadav with the Padma Vibhushan after having committed the biggest crime of ordering firing, according to them.
Correct.
But the same people give him Padma Vibhushan. Why was it? Was Mr. Modi trying to tell the world that, look here, we are so happy that Mulayam Singh ordered firing. If he hadn't ordered firing, we wouldn't have got this issue to be raised politically against them. Was that the reason? So this is their double, triple standards are shameful. And even so, what my conclusion about this whole thing is, it was a great eyewash, beautiful eyewash, done very shabbily. So the whole world can see what an eyewash. They may be convinced in their own homes. Likewise, it is same as Yogi Adityanath projecting himself as the ultimate, providing the ultimate governance to UP, which is contradicted. His claims might be different. His government spends 2,000 crores a year on publicity, which works out about 5 crores a day. So, publicity helps, because he's always in competition. But it contradicts the NCRB reports, National Crime Records Bureau, contradicts Mr. Yogi's
conversation,
claim.
Sharad, I'll take with you later because we are just now out of time. And if you say something, I know Shantanu is getting ready to respond. So we're going to end on this issue. But will the Ram Mandir issue will this have a political repercussion is the main thing, or will the BJP weather the storm? Because are they still being seen as the ultimate custodians of the Hindutva, or can this opposition come up, play a soft Hinduism card, and try and, as Yashwant says, if there is a vacuum, can someone step into that or not? And this whole politics of minority and majority, I think that was a very good point Yashwant also raised, which we have tried to debate a bit. But I'm going to call you all back for a further conversation. Right now, we're totally out of time. Thank you.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.